Oh, I thought someone said Ola. I was like, who just said Ola? You said go live. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Karen Maxwell with Really Impact Plano, and this is our second monthly Wednesday pie call. I like to call it pie. It's Plano Idea Exchange. It's where not people just in the Plano area get together and talk about what we need and what we have and what we need in our real estate investing, but all over. So we might need someone in West Texas. We might need someone in South Texas. We might need someone in Michigan. So we are not limited to this, but my group is Real Impact Plano, hence the name. And we are doing this live on the last Wednesday of every month at noon Central Standard Time. So with me today is Miss Gabi Lockhart. Gabi is with Real Impact Denton and Real Impact Wichita Falls, and Miss Lydia Miller. Lydia is going to be presenting at my meeting on July the
6th.
July 6th. We are moving the Real Impact Plano meetings to Thursday nights, the first Thursday night of every month. So this will be our first. There's a lot of firsts going on right now. We're making some changes. So we'll be doing those on Thursday nights at Quest Trust in Dallas, and they're in Addison. And so Lydia, tell us a little bit about you and all about Profit First. So tell us all about it.
Great.
But that's what this is today.
Great. So Lydia Miller, I'm with Blue Morpho Properties, is my real estate business. I've been an investor for about 13 years, and I've been doing really well. You know, we have 9 properties right now, rental properties. We do some private lending. We have an Airbnb. We flip. Things are going pretty well. And so it came as kind of a shock to me last fall that I was utterly and totally out of money because I had I do it right. I know the formulas. You got to plug in your numbers, make sure it's a good deal. Yes, it's a good deal. And don't over leverage and, all the things you're supposed to do. And there I was, just flat broke. And I was referred to the Profit First system by another impact group leader and listened to the audiobook and was like, oh, wow, this is exactly what has been missing in my business.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it looks at that we're operating in a way where every time money comes in, we just spend it. It just goes back out again. And then whatever is left over is supposed to be our profit, but there's never anything left over. So what if we're to take the profit out first?
Yes.
Sounds crazy because, well, how do you do that? How do you even know what your profit's supposed to be?
Exactly. Or what your profit actually is.
Exactly. And the answer is, you know what your profit's going to be because you decide. You actually are free to say, all right, I'm going to take 5% of everything I make, and that's my profit. And it's going over here in this other account before I pay any of my bills.
Right.
And the other thing is, I wasn't paying myself. I'd take a disbursement every few months. It's like, okay, we got money in the bank. I'm going to take a couple $1,000s. And now I'm paying myself. And, and I've also got money sorted out for all the rental repairs, all the taxes, all the, things are in categories. So we had in the past week, we had one air conditioner at a residence, one air conditioner at our commercial building go out. We had a tax bill, a bill from the people that do my property tax protests, and there was some other thing we had to pay for, and I didn't break a sweat on a single one of them because the money's already there waiting to be used just for those things.
Exactly. Now, you and I talked about something about a week or so ago that I was asking you, is this something that you're going to be teaching us? Because that's why I wanted to, when I was preparing for your meeting, we prepare slides that go on before you, and we have a tip of the month. And my tip of the month was to pay your bills on time, like
Mhm,
how to save money.
mhm.
You know, it may not be a big deal to some people if they don't pay their taxes, and once it until they get ready to pay their taxes that once a year. I have a great example. My cousin, she had a house that was built, and her estimated tax for the next year was based on, and her escrow amount for the first year was based on what they estimated her tax to be on that empty lot. Now it
Right.
has a house on it, and her house payment went up from 1,800 to 2,500. Actually, I think it went from 14 to 18 to 25. So it was
Mhm.
14. Now it's 25. It will go back down to 18, but now they have an escrow shortage. And if you're not prepared to pay that property tax bill when it comes due, let's say you own a $50,000 house, you own it free and clear. You're like, yay, cash flow. I own it free and clear. I'm making $1,100 a month. I'm making $1,100 a month. No, you have your taxes and you have your insurance. So, what is your suggestion that entrepreneurs do that are
Mhm.
needing to, to have that big chunk ready to pay?
Mhm. Great. So this kind of gets down into the meat of the profit first. And I won't give it all away, but here's
Thank
kind of
you.
a snapshot. The way most people operate, right? The way you're supposed to operate is, you have your budget and everything's lined out, and you know exactly how much money you have to spend for this and this and this and this. And then you're reliable for checking your balance sheet every week or every month or, whatever. And no, no one operates like that really, unless you're a real numbers detailed person. And thank goodness for you, because we need you.
Yes.
But most of us,
You're welcome.
thank you, Karen. So most of us operate with what the Profit First folks call bank balance accounting, which is we look at our bank balance.
Right.
And if we have some money in the account, we spend it. And the Profit First system says, go ahead and keep doing that. Just take one step in advance of doing that.
Yes.
Is as soon as your money comes in, take some of it and divert it to those accounts that you know you're going to need. And
Okay.
that's taxes. As a real estate investor, I do one for rental repairs
Okay.
because you're going to have them. So you need taxes, rental repairs, and then also one for yourself, money for you, and money for your business's profit.
Yes.
And if you take those out, it's like if you've ever had a retirement account, and you start contributing 3% or whatever it is, you don't miss it. And then you just operate with what's left over.
Right.
Same thing here. So take that money, get it out of circulation. And in Profit First, they even suggest you get a different bank that's hard to get money out of. And put your tax money
And not
there.
easy to transfer, right? Because that's
Exactly. Put your
that's
tax
the
money there and put your company profit money there. So
hmm
you can't get your grubby little paws on it, because if you're like many of us, if it's in reach, we will spend it.
yes. If you
It's
go
the
and look at
best,
your
it's
so
the
like
best
when I go to
intentions of
mine,
the
they're
Lord.
all listed. All the bank accounts are listed.
Yep, exactly
They're
that.
not connected, but I mean they're connected, but they're separate. And if
Mhm.
I need to transfer money from this one to the other one, it's super simple. A few clicks here and there, boom, it's
Yep,
done.
yep.
But if you go and you say, "Oh, I've got a $30,000 tax bill," and you go and look at your accounts, "Oh, this one's got money in it. Let's use that money." That's that's not the way to do it. But
Exactly. And
I
then
know people that do it all the time.
you end up doing crazy stuff like, putting your rental deposit money into to using that to pay your taxes,
Yeah,
and hope all your tenants don't leave all at once, or,
right.
I mean, you're just robbing Peter to pay Paul all the time with a huge amount of stress.
Yes,
So the thing I like best about the Profit First system is I'm not stressed.
right.
Like the money's where the money needs to be when I need it, and I'm not like living in this hope that, you know, big bills won't come in, or, rental repairs won't happen. We're not going to have air conditioner problems when it's
Right,
110 degrees and 90% humidity.
right. Yeah. Uh,
So,
you know, air conditioner repairs in the summertime, they absolutely suck. Our first property that we had to replace a unit, we were already losing money the first year, but the second year it was looking great. I mean, it was looking fantastic. Like, yeah, no. Then that air conditioner went out and it sucked out our entire profit for the entire first year. Or
mhm,
well, we bought it at the end of one year, and then this all happened like the second year. But for that year, there we were again, no profit, because our profit was less than what it cost to replace the central air and heat unit. Preventative maintenance. I look through a lot of marketing, and I see a lot of rentals that are charging $35 a month or $20 a month or whatever. Some of them are $50 a month for them to come change your air conditioner filter, which, hey, that is an expensive piece of equipment on a property that you're allowing someone else to live in, and you're expecting them to change the filter. Okay, so
right.
it's their fault. Is their $1,200 deposit going to cover the cost of you replacing that air conditioner unit?
Not in a minute.
Not even close. But when people complain about their air conditioning not working, go check it before something serious happens. And if you leave repairs unchecked for a long time, my toilet's leaking.
Hmm.
Do you know what kind of damage that can do to the floor if you don't go fix it? To you, it may not be that big of a deal as a landlord, but if you're thinking it's not big of a deal, wait until you get that repair bill. Oh, now we've got to replace the subfloor. Now we've got to replace the flooring because the flooring doesn't match. Now it looks shoddy, or whatever. Or we have to replace the entire bathroom flooring or the wall behind it. There's so much damage that water can do. But if
Hmm.
you jump on it soon enough, then everybody's happy. Your tenant's happy, you're happy, your budget's happy.
Hmm.
So, Gabi, what about you guys? Do you have any thoughts on keeping bank accounts separate, budgeting?
I always encourage everybody to have a emergency account. Like a savings account that they don't touch,
Uh
and I
huh.
put maybe $50 or $100 in every month, and they don't know what's going in there out of their, the profit, just like you said. I make that recommendation also to my buyers, who buy a house. I always say, just do it that way. Just be prepared because you never know. I also recommend a home warranty. That was our saving price actually at our Airbnb that we have. Yeah, we had some issues and it was paid through the home warranty, and now we found out the AC is kind of going out. So that's gonna pay for the home warranty right there, the AC unit.
Gotcha. That's a
So
great
it
tip.
is, so I mean, if you buy a new property and you don't know how they made the maintenance work on that for rental, I would always say get a home warranty at least for the first 2 years. So that's gonna save you quite a bit of money. Yes, you'd be out maybe $500-600 up front. But you know what? If your AC and your water heater and whatever goes out, you make that money back in a heartbeat.
Yep. Now, Gabi, I know you're not a realtor. I'm not a realtor. Lydia, you're not a realtor, are you?
Nope.
Licensed realtor, but
No.
Gabi's husband Tim is a licensed realtor, and that home warranty, it's a scam. It's They don't come fix anything. It's a lot of trouble to deal with or whatever. But when you can get a home warranty, how much they run? Do you know?
I think they're about 625, if I'm correct. They went up a little bit on the price. It depends what kind of home warranty you have. You need to check and see which home warranty works in your neighborhood, because not all home warranty work in certain neighborhood. And that's just really important that you do that, because it's important that you have that done correctly.
Gotcha. So Gabi, I was gonna ask you if you can check and make sure you have Zoom closed, because I know we just came out of a meeting, and maybe check your microphone. There's a lot of popping and muffled sound, and it's not like it was in the last meeting that you and I just got out of, and I know your microphone and everything was fine. But just check that for me if you could.
I did. I did check. I just clicked that off. Yes. There's no other thing there.
Okay, you might want to turn off, mute yourself and then unmute and see if that will fix it, because it's just real sharp sounding.
Mhm.
You're hearing that too, right, Lydia?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, my sister told me that, bless her heart, she's been deceased since 2017, but that was one of the tips that she gave me. She said, when you buy a property, go ahead and get the home warranty. And I always thought that was something that I had to get from the seller. But as a buyer, you can purchase those yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's just something that people don't think about. I mean, okay, if it takes 2 months for them to come fix the air conditioning and it's a vacant property and the air conditioning doesn't work, we buy a lot of houses with no electricity, no water, and the utilities aren't on. And that's why we get a great discount. I will call the city and ask and let them know, like, hey, I need to do an inspection on this property. Can I get the water and the electricity turned on today? Water is a little easier than the electric. Electric is often, they'll do it, but sometimes you have to jump through some more hoops. But the water company is typically they work with you pretty well. What about you, Lydia? Do you run into that? Do you have any problems having the utilities turned on a vacant property?
Do you know what? That's not something that I have done before, so that's a really great suggestion.
So you
I'm
normally buy them without electricity and water on,
yeah, sometimes.
but you get a bigger discount, right?
Oh, yes. Definitely that. Also bad surprises, but if you're buying it without the utilities on, you just assume that there's gonna be problems with the plumbing and electrical.
I like to say worst case scenario. In other words, whenever I'm working into my budget, if I don't have the electricity on to be able to verify that, then I'm like, okay, in case I have to redo the entire electrical, about how much is that going to be, and then I work that into my estimate, because, and then hey, if electricity's fine, it's fine.
Exactly.
I mean, you can often tell, I've gone in many houses where every single light fixture in the house is down, but they have security cameras up. Here's your discount. Automatic discount, because I now have to deal with that. I don't know what they've done. I don't know if they crawled up in the attic and installed. It's crazy.
Yeah,
But
I'll crawl up in the attic. I'm not shy, but yeah. But plumbing, I just assume if it's after a certain year
or before a certain year.
or before a certain year, then
Yeah.
I just figure, yep, replumb the house.
Yeah.
And
Especially
I buy bad houses. I buy
they're the best.
bad houses in bad neighborhoods.
And then do you collect rent yourself?
I do.
Yeah.
So I'm just doing. Actually, I don't have 9 properties. I have 8 properties, and I'm about to have 7 because I'm doing 2 seller finance deals.
Oh, nice.
I just finished. I just closed on one, and the other one will be closed by Friday.
Good.
And that's my first time doing it. So for that, I'm using a loan servicer for the first time.
Which one are you using?
August REI, who
Another
I
one of our
found out
sponsors.
about through the impact groups. I know
Good deal.
they're a sponsor, and the folks I've talked to there have been super helpful and super patient with someone who hasn't done it before.
Yes.
So, you need this paperwork, but I won't get that until we close. So how does that work? And they're like, no problem, we got you.
Oh, I remember the first time I was working on sending. I think we had like 9 different ones that we were self-managing, and we had them on auto pay, but we wanted the note servicing company to take over all that. And just trying to get all the information together for them, I had to understand it. So I had this big whiteboard out in the middle of my office, and I'm standing there and I'm writing it down. Okay, she wants to know what the underlying note is. Okay, this is the underlying note. Okay. She wants to know what the taxes and insurance are, but she wants to know if they're escrowed. Okay. It's escrowed and this is the amount. And then the new note, the wrapped note is this. And then it hit me. Oh my gosh. They're escrowing taxes and insurance as well. So now my cash flow just in my mind, I hadn't connected that. And I was like, oh my gosh, my cash flow just now it makes sense. Now it's like they're covering the taxes and insurance, even though I'm paying for it, then I'm getting reimbursed for that.
Yes.
And so that was great. But the big thing is make sure that the taxes and insurance are escrowed.
Oh, yes.
If not, you might have the same problem that people have that don't do that. And then at the end of the year,
By
you're
default.
they and now the city may get it. Now you have to go pay their taxes, or you're buying your own property off the courthouse steps.
Not so good.
It's so scary. I mean, there's, Gabi and I talk about this like every single day, like getting the right data, knowing number one, what data you need, how to understand your own data, your own books, your own productivity. Paying two people to do the same thing is a waste of money because nobody's going to get it done. Nobody who's accountable for it. And I spend a lot of time with people, and I know Gabi does too, as far as how are you running your business? If they can provide you with this is how I run my business. Like we teach to build a business plan, right, Gabi? With Real Impact, we teach you how to build that business plan. And a lot of people don't even know what they're worth. It took me several years to wrap my head around the fact that a balance sheet and a profit and loss statement was not the same thing. I'm like, well, how come they're not? Why is this and why is that? And where is this and where is that? But they're two different things. And you have to understand the difference between the two. And when you're looking for something, if your bookkeeper didn't put it in the right place, then you can't find it. How is your CPA going to find it? It's just.
It is frustrating.
Pay the money and have somebody do it right, and it's important for like Gabi, when Gabi asks for something as a loan officer, no matter what it is, if you give her incorrect data, then they're over there working on that incorrect data. And then when it's all said and done, you're like, oh, that was wrong. Well, that's the data you gave me. How am I that does not work inside your company supposed to know that this is not correct? It is your responsibility to provide that.
Well, the thing is, you have to be in details when you send a loan in. I mean, that's really, really important because you can get flagged for mortgage fraud in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Or they can just flat out say no.
Yes. And the thing is, if you get labeled already with underwriting, there could be mortgage fraud. Then that's a very serious. I mean, they're gonna go through your stuff like with a comb and
fine-tooth comb.
I mean,
Exactly.
And explaining that to somebody, on the other hand, I mean, sometimes it's very difficult, and sometimes I mean, you have to provide the right information. I mean, I had one guy coming into my office and he said, I know exactly what you want. You're not going to get it. And you just do it how I want. And I said, I'm sorry, I don't look at an orange. There's the door.
Yeah.
I mean, just
this is red, not orange.
No, I mean, I'm just, it has to be done correctly. And communication is so extremely important.
Yes.
And I mean, and I said, if you look good you may look good in orange, just forget they don't serve wine or beer in the prison either. So you're gonna live in a community-gated neighborhood. So if that's what you want to do, keep going, but not with me on board.
And Gabi, we have to worry about that. I talked to Wade Cricken, the attorney, last year about another situation, and I was like, Lydia, I have a great deal. You want to JV with me?
Maybe. Tell me about it.
Okay. So Lydia and I know each other, but we've never worked together. She doesn't know all of my skeletons or all of my every deal I've ever done. And then what about a partnership that I had from the past that maybe went south or is going south? And then Lydia joins with me, and then something that I did can affect her negatively, or something.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yes.
And I may not know that. So am I supposed to do a background check on every person that wants to JV with me? People are
You
like,
should.
oh, willy-nilly, let's JV, let's JV. Look, I've got a lot of irons in the fire. And I need you to bring the value, present the deal. I think Lydia called me during a meeting 2 weeks ago about a deal, and I never called you back about it. And I do my very best to talk with people, but whenever I have back-to-back meetings, I've now been in meetings since 10:30. I was on a meeting at 10:30, didn't start till 11. So I've been in meetings all day, and I'm just doing the best that I can to help everybody. But I love deal crunching, analyzing.
We do. We love it.
Yeah. And then I'm like, hey, Gabi, I think this one's a deal. I'm going to send so-and-so to you for funding. And then Gabi gets into it, and then she's like, hey, Karen, this is not a deal because blah, blah, blah. Or, hey, we're still, we're about to close, or that didn't work out, or she needed too much, she didn't have any money and her credit wasn't high enough. So she doesn't tell me that, but that's the reason that Gabi know.
Well, the thing is with JV, I mean, if you just want to partner up with somebody else, it's not a bad idea, but you have to set the categories right from the beginning. If you like Lydia, I'm just gonna pick on you right now. I'm sorry, but I am.
Happy to be the big here.
Okay, good. Okay, so basically, you like to buy old houses, bad neighborhood. That's just what you like to do. Okay. Well, Karen, she likes only the luxury houses.
Good
because that's just what it is, right? So you go on a JV, you buy more a luxury house, and you're gonna be in charge, Lydia, on the repairs.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the thing is, you cannot repair a luxury house with the category of a cheap house. Okay? You can't do it. If you do that, it can backfire so bad. And if the buyer buys the house and something happens, you both can be in so much trouble you cannot imagine.
Yeah. Or my idea of what luxury is, that's not my wheelhouse. So
no, I'm just using.
Yeah. So I could be like, oh, Karen, I got a great deal on this only slightly chipped countertop stone.
It's just right here in the front where the woman's going to wash her dishes.
Exactly. But it's such a great deal. So you should be really happy about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you have to put the thing is, you could even live in a $500,000-$600,000 house, and Karen says, well, she lives in a nice house and everything else. And I don't know anything about you, Lydia. I'm sorry, I'm just picking on you. But you can live in a nice, fancy house, but your investment skills, that's not what you go like, I'm not going to put a granite countertop in that one. You're just going to put whatever in there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, but honestly, it needs to have a granite countertop. Otherwise, you're not matching with the neighborhood. But if you're in charge of it and Karen goes to the getaway and she comes back and she's going to go like,
Countertop in here.
But that's just, you have to know.
Or vice versa, Gabi. What if I go put a granite countertop in because Lydia has to take the cats to the vet, and I'm installing granite one day in a house that only needs
IKEA special laminate countertops.
Yeah. And so, and Lydia's going to be like, you spent how much on countertops? Why didn't you just go to IKEA and get this? Well, that's part of, number one, JVing or partnering, but number two, relying on someone else. And that may be my strength. Rehabbing high-end homes may be my strength. But Lydia doesn't want me putting, a gold toilet in a house and that's going to make $700 a month rent.
No, I think some other people would come and help you out on that one. I mean, just be on the side of it. But I mean, I think the main point is, if you JV with somebody, set the standard.
Yes.
What you want to do,
In
how you want
writing.
to do it, huh?
In writing.
In
Yes,
writing.
in
Everything
writing.
has to be done in writing, okay? And that you agree on certain things, that we are not going to do this, and we're not going to do this, and we definitely not going to do something like that, that you really have your goals set together.
Yes.
Okay. The other thing you can do, if you want to JV, you can say, okay, I'm going to take your money, you keep your mouth shut, and I'm going to do the work, and I give you the money back.
That's right.
That's not a way of doing it.
That's
you
right.
know but I mean, we always say in German, 2 cooks will destroy the cereal.
Yes.
Okay.
That's why there's a chef and then the sous chef.
It does not
Can't have
work.
2 leaders.
Yes.
Can't
So I
have
mean,
2 leaders.
you can work together in cooking, but you have to know exactly, okay, this one is in charge of this one, and this is in charge of this one, and you don't mingle.
Yes.
And you
Don't
never
come
mingle money.
Don't come put sugar in my stew, or don't put salt on my sprinkle salt on top of my lemon pie. Like, keep it separate. Especially,
Yeah, I mean, it's really important that you set everything straight and put everything in writing.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. In my other life, I'm a mediator, and I am currently mediating conflict between a contractor and a homeowner.
Oh, that's
And
fun.
yeah, exactly. And it was, it was just like everybody was friendly, everybody was connected, everybody was just everything was great, and it was an insurance claim, and the contractor got the insurance claim raised from 10,000 to 27,000. And then they wanted to do some additional work, and never wrote it down, never put dollar amounts next to it. And now they're in court for the 3rd time. So
Oh, I
Um,
just got a book, and I do not know what it is.
so kind of a blank agreement, like no dollar amounts.
no, not even a blank agreement.
Not even a blank agreement.
They had a verbal agreement with no dollars mentioned.
Oh, Lord.
He said, "Oh yeah, a lot of this can get paid for by insurance."
No, he never do that.
And, don't worry, I'll take care of you.
Oh yeah, no. No. Oh yeah, I'll take care of you. Do you know? I have a perfect example. There was a guy that I can't tell too much. I will give it away. Let's see. There was a guy new to the area. He was licensed in another state, but he was working here in Texas. He was not licensed, and we wanted to get him to do some work for us that did not require licensing. And he wanted to charge us $185 an hour to hang mini blinds and to do touch-up paint and make a few little minor repairs and stuff. And I have never, my mouth doesn't fall open often, but my mouth fell open because I did not. He said, "Oh yeah, I can do that. I can do that." Not one time did I ever in my mind think that he would charge, that a handyman would charge $185 an hour.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, well, you just lost my business and all of their business and all of their business and all of their business, because there's no way. Then he agreed on 70 per hour. I'm like, if you had come in with 70, I would have negotiated you down to 30, 20. I mean, he really did know what he was doing. Could do multiple things. You only have to have one contractor, and then this contractor can't blame it on the other contractor. I wanted him to be the finish guy, and he shot himself in the foot by coming in with an astronomical hourly bid. And then he also he went to Home Depot after, like, he would look at the property and then go to Home Depot. They were next door to each other. It was a duplex. Why did you not go into both of them, go get what you needed, and then go fix it? But he literally went to Home Depot twice after we told him to go to Lowe's. So
on the clock.
Yes, for $185 an hour. So yeah, after the second trip to Home Depot, I said, you know what? Don't even fix anything. Just return all the materials that you bought, and we're gonna call it a day. Like I can't do this. Like that's ridiculous, beyond ridiculous. So, Lydia, you want to talk about any deals or anything that you have going on, or anything that you have or need in real estate investing, other than the upcoming meeting?
Yeah, so I'm in the middle of negotiating with a property owner. It's a rental property he's got. It's his only rental property, and he is ready to cash out. It's in Arlington. It's a 4-2, and his tenant offered him 250 as is, and he kind of got greedy and said, "No, I'm going to fix it up, and I'll get 330 for it." And discovered after 2 days of working on it that there was no way that with his back injuries and stuff, he was going to be able to get that work done. And a lot of it was specialized, and there's foundation issues. So we're trying to work out a partnership on it where we're, we're saying, okay, if this is, it would maybe go for 315, 313. If that were the sales price, if I'm going to do this rehab for you, manage it and handle everything, and also, he doesn't want to use a realtor, so assist him with doing the owner sale on the property. I need to make 25,000. So what if we say this is the floor that what if we say, I get 25,000 plus half of anything above what we think
Yes.
it's going to be,
Mm-hmm.
and you get everything else after expenses. And we're trying to work that out, but the numbers aren't quite cooperating. So I need
Right.
some, it may not be a deal because I thought it needed a little foundation work.
Uh-huh.
And so did my foundation guy who was just there this morning. And he's like, "Oh, no, it's more. It's 10,000." I'm like, "Oh, that
Yeah.
just that may have been a deal breaker, but we'll see. We'll see what the other stuff is."
Yeah, get that. Get 3 opinions.
Yeah, with this guy, he's one of the 3 opinions I've gotten regularly, and I use him a lot. So,
You're pretty good on that
You
one
want to
then.
give him a shout
yeah.
out?
Yeah, so Texas Pride Foundation,
Okay.
excellent guys. Roberto Maya is my go-to guy, and he's super professional. He knows how it is to work with investors, and he's gonna show you everything as you go along.
Uh-huh.
So he's not just going to be like, "Oh, well, you need 37 piers." He'll walk the house with you and say, "Okay, this is what I see, and here's why." And
Good. That's awesome.
yeah,
That
and
helps.
his folks clean up after themselves,
That's
and
nice.
and he did a really big job on a commercial property I've got,
Uh-huh.
and it took a day and a half. So he has a big crew that he can get in. They work and then they get back out again. So
In the same day?
same day. That one took a day and a half,
Okay.
but
I mean,
off.
they got started on time.
They got
on time
yeah.
early in the morning
Yep.
when it's cooler.
Yep.
Crap, I didn't mow my yard this morning. I knew there was something I was supposed to do this morning. I did get Tim the information that he needed, though, Gabby.
Okay, good. Well, that's important also.
Yeah. Okay, so Lydia, is there anything that you need on that, or are you just trying to get the agreement together with the seller, just trying to come to terms?
Yeah, I think we're just trying to come to terms. So, and it's kind of a toss up whether it's gonna work out numbers wise.
Yeah.
He knows now he should have taken that 250 as is and run with it.
Right.
Yeah.
Where did you say your properties are?
Most of them are in South Oak Cliff.
Okay.
We just sold one in Grand Prairie. That's the seller finance, and we have one up in Azle that's getting sold seller finance this time.
And did you end up
And
selling
I'll tell you what we need. We need a commercial property,
Uh-huh.
retail property
Okay.
in southern Dallas County.
Okay.
My wife is starting a nonprofit. She's going to retire this year, and she's starting a nonprofit called Craft Cycle. And
Craft Cycle.
Craft Cycle, and it's a thrift store for donated art and craft supplies.
Well, that's a good idea.
It's
Do
a
you know
really
how many
cool
art and
idea.
craft supplies I throw away every year?
Oh my gosh, everyone's got a closet full, right?
Yeah. And or I
and-
do use them, but then I don't, and they get old and I have to toss them. So
exactly that. So she's got a place that you can donate them, get a write-off, and contribute, and so what we're looking for is a retail space for her that we can have a couple of units. She needs about 1,500 square feet. So I want to buy something around 4,500 or 5,000, and then rent out part of it and let her use the other part for a minimal fee for her store. And she's already, proof of concept is there. She's done 3 pop-up markets. We have 2 storage units and our back bedroom full of all the donations. So once we get it going, all will be great.
in South Dallas County.
Yep, Southern Dallas County is where we're looking.
Okay, and if they have something, what number do you want them to call?
469-348-8714.
8714.
Are you going to put that on my picture? I should have put that in.
I'm actually going to make a banner, create a banner, and add banner, and show. There we go.
Yay.
So
it's 469-348.
uh-oh.
So don't call that number. Wrong number.
Edit. Uh-oh. Where am I at? Oh, there we are. Hide. Don't call that number. Let me fix it. 348
Uh-huh.
469-348-8714.
Exactly that. Cool.
Did that not still didn't check? Edit.
I wonder if I can change it so it says it.
Save. Oh, I didn't scroll down to save. Okay, there we go.
Do you know what? I can put it by my phone. Oh, you got it. Cool.
There we go.
Awesome.
Okay, so Lydia, you said you were looking at renting it or buying it?
Buying it.
Buying it.
Yep.
For 4,500 square feet?
Yes.
Oh, whenever you said that earlier, in my mind, I was thinking 4,500 a month.
Yeah.
Or 4,500 or I want a commercial space for $4,500 to buy it.
That would be okay.
Okay, so
45,000 even, but yeah.
30, yeah, even 45,000. Yeah. So 35 to 4,500 square feet, and you're looking to buy the building.
Mm-hmm.
So the properties that you have, the rental properties that you have, in Oak Cliff, what do you see in the market there? Like, what are you willing to pay as an investor buyer for a property? At what percentage?
For a rental in decent shape, around 125 to 140.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because the rent's reliably 1,800 at this point for a single family. We're actually trying to buy a lot of rentals this year because my wife retires at the end of the year. So we want to get them purchased and refinanced while she's still got that W-2 income.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, it won't work because it's not continuous the next 3 years. Keep that in mind. So
tell me about that.
So if I would know that she's retiring in December, I cannot continue her paycheck.
Oh, gotcha.
Yes.
Good to know.
You cannot.
Can you just make her work another 3 years?
I could. I mean, she's planning to do some contracting with them, which she can. So she works for UT Southwestern. So
yeah.
But then it's going to be a 1099 most likely.
Yeah, exactly. So Okay.
And then she would have to wait another year in order to get another loan on it. So we do have possibilities on that one, but as soon as something stops, and it stops. The same thing like if there's somebody in the military that we know he's retiring in 3-4 years, we can only do it if he has 3 more years that income guaranteed, then you can get that loan. Same thing like if somebody has child support. If the child is 15, then the 3 years are not going to be completely 3 years. We cannot use that child support either. So keep that in mind. You cannot use that.
Oh, got it. I did not know that. So thank you for that information.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is, if you do a DSCR loan, you do not need your personal income anyway, so it doesn't matter. You can just do the regular DSCR loan, and it's based on your rental income.
Perfect.
It's even better. It's better. The interest rates are about the same. They're not really. I just got a message this morning. The interest rate starting by 6.95 on that part. So I mean, it's some of them, it depends on the category and depends on what you qualify for. I mean, I have few outlets for that part. So we don't even look at your tax returns. We don't look at your income. We just do a straight on the rental analysis. If you have a rental lease on it, it's even better.
Good.
That's all we need, basically.
Very great. Thank you.
You're welcome. There's a lot of options.
I forgot to even introduce Gabi. I introduced her as Real Impact Wichita Falls and Denton, but Gabi is actually an Armelo. She does mortgages with American Home Mortgage, right, Gabi?
American Mortgage Company.
American Mortgage Company. You can do investor loans, the DSCR through them as well, and get your seller finance buyers.
Yeah.
If they ever want to cash out, she could get them a loan if everything's done correctly. But so she has lots of options. And then with Blazing Star Capital, she can also do other types of investor loans. And I say, we were talking earlier, remember about the correct data and the correct whatever, blah, blah, blah. If it's a loan question, I'm not even going to try. I'm just going to say, call Gabi. She can tell me, like what if you waited? I remember when I was trying to buy a house years ago, and my sister, who was my loan officer at that time, and my real estate agent, and she was everything for me. But she said, "Oh, it looks like you're going to, we want to get you to this this credit score, and it looks like you should be there by October, November. I don't remember." And I was like, okay, well, I'll let them know. So I let the seller know, like, hey, I've got to work on my credit a little bit, and I want to be able to get a better interest rate. So I'm going to wait until, this time. And if you still have the house, that's fine. And I wanted this house. I've been walking by this house for over 2 years, and the other brother came and rewrote the phone number with black magic marker that I'd watched for 2 years. Wow. And the phone number was like faded. Like I had to walk up to it and like write it down or put it on my phone. And I called that number for 2 years. Often, I didn't stalk them, but every few months I'd walk and I'd say, "Oh, I'm gonna call about that house again." They never did call me back. And one day I saw this bright new black magic marker on there, and I was like, "Ooh." So I called, and the guy was like answered. And we struck up a conversation. He showed me the house. And in that conversation, I said, so just so you know, like I've been calling you about this house for 2 years. And he said, what? And he said, my brother put that sign out with his phone number, but the brother didn't want to sell the house. So he just didn't ever return the calls.
Wow.
And, but the sign was up, and that's all he was agreed to do. What we say earlier, like be clear in what your expectations are. Right. Our expectation is to sell the house, bro, not just put a sign in the yard.
Wow.
So anyway, he and I got very close. He really wanted me to buy this house. I had a lot of reasons. I had family within a block or two, and I really wanted that house. And my sister called me in August that year and said, "Oh my God, like your credit just skyrocketed. I don't know what happened, but what had happened 7 years prior is what it was." And I was like, "All right, let's go." And so we bought that house earlier than we planned, or earlier than we thought. but it was all about communicating with my realtor, with my lender, what I needed, listening to their advice, and then doing and listening to it and then taking action on it. It's not enough just to say, okay, yeah, I'm going to do that. And then not ever follow through, because then I'm like, am I waiting on you or are you waiting on me? They're like, oh, we're waiting on you to do blah, blah, blah. Oh, I forgot about that. Let me do that. Let me get on that. Or I thought someone else was handling that. Or like when I was trying to buy my house, she told me what she needed. I went and I did it, check, did it, check. She said, hey, I thought you got a credit card. And I said, I did. And she's like, have you used it? And I said, no. She said, well, you got to go use it. Like it doesn't really do you any good if you have it and you've never used it. It's like I activated it. That's not enough. So I went and put gas on it and came home, waited a few days, paid the gas off. And that was what I used for my gas card for years to establish that credibility. This was like, oh my gosh, this was in 2009, 2010, somewhere around there. 2011 maybe. And but I did everything that she asked me to do except for that. And so I did do that. I didn't understand getting a credit card. I thought I was done, checked off the box, but I wasn't done because I didn't start using it. So anyway.
You know what the biggest problem is when somebody's getting a credit card? They go and max it out.
Right, and then not pay it off. Yeah.
Well, they may pay it off, but as soon as if you get like a $300 card and then you go to Sears or whatever, and then you see something for $350, it slaps through it, and guess what your credit score does?
Yeah.
It's down. And I was looking at a credit report this morning and going like, something is wrong, something is wrong, something is wrong. And then I called the person in that moment when he picked up the phone, I was like, I found it. And he's like, what did you find? We're like, I found it. You abused the credit card.
Uh-oh.
I knew it was on there because I saw something on, the credit did not make sense. And then it was one of the last ones that I finally found, overdrafted.
Yeah.
Or if you think, oh, it's just $199.
Overdraft or over the limit? Over the limit?
Over the limit. People think, oh, it's $199. I can use my $200 credit card. No, don't do it because there's interest built on top of it, and then you're gonna be at 203. And guess what? Your credit score is still gonna go down.
They're going to charge you the over the limit fee, and now you're at 250, and then you're not ever going to get paid under it because you're just paying the minimum or whatever. I like to use my cards for my big purchases to get the points. But I will literally put it on the card and then go back and pay it. Our flights to Cancun, I've got that money in that account, that credit card waiting for those prices to drop to where I want it to be, so that I won't go over my limit on my card because I got to buy 3 tickets to Cancun. And I guess I'm going to end up having to just leave early on Sunday. That's the only. I'm not paying an extra $600 to come back when I want to come back, which is in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
So you should put a word out about Cancun.
Oh yeah, we should. We should talk about that. So we are going to Cancun. Did my comment? I apologize for my comment. I was trying to put the link to the. I'm not well versed at StreamYard or that goes to YouTube. Sometimes the comments show up, sometimes they don't. I have no idea if it'll make it or not, but I'll get it added later. But you'll have to excuse me because my link, the first one, doesn't work. And I don't have the option to delete the comment. It's only to ban the person, and that's me. Then what will happen? And I got a space in that link, but the second link there is correct. And then I'm gonna go ahead and push this one. There we go. In case someone reads it later and needs your phone number. Cancun. So we're going the mastermind getaway. I don't think I can share my screen Anyway, we're going to Cancun in September, the 20th to the 24th of 2023. And if you come to our meeting on July the 6th with Lydia, or July the 11th, I will be speaking at Wichita Falls.
Mm-hmm.
And then when's your Denton meeting? Is it July the 10th or is it the...
No. 17th.
July 17th. So on July 30th, we are giving away a trip to for this mastermind getaway, and you get the VIP upgrade, which means we're going to take care of your airfare, the all-inclusive resort. We're going to take care of your. You get to go on a yacht excursion with Coach Burt and some of the other experts and other attendees, and we're taking care of all the transportation, all that good stuff, and we're just super excited about it. It's a $10,000 grand prize, but you have to attend a local meeting in order to get signed up for that. So if you attend any of the Real Impact in-person meetings, you should get the opportunity during the meeting to scan the QR code to get signed up for that. But you also are going to automatically get a promo code to get $1,000 off the getaway. Now, the getaway is $49.95 for 2 adults and 2 children 12 and under. I'm bringing my 16-year-old, well, he'll be 17 by then, 17 and 12-year-old. And we're just going to have a ball. We had 78 last year. We have Coach Michael Burt as our keynote speaker, and I'm super excited. Anytime to get to hang out with him is a great time. I've been to several of his in-person trainings, online trainings, and some of his special events. His getaways, went to the Bahamas with him on a cruise, and I was blown away. Matter of fact, this book came from that. It says "See La Vie." Now it says "Meetings with Dennis," but I start this at the beginning of it has all my notes from 2019 when we went on that trip. Bold claims. Anyway, so it was a great trip, and it really solidified my stepping into who I am as a real estate investor and as a person individually. And I can't wait to hear him. He talks about activating your prey drive, and that everyone needs a coach in life. Like coaches even have coaches. That's what a lot of people
Absolutely.
don't. Like we didn't learn what we know from 4 years of study at a college. Even doctors work under other doctors until they're ready to go out and do it on their own. Dentists work under other dentists until they're ready. Like when you're practicing, you're always practicing, always getting better. So we are super looking forward to it. But you can go to mastermindgetaway.com to get signed up for that and attend a local meeting. You can go to realimpacttraining.com and click on meetings and find out where the local meetings are. We have them in when and where they are. We have Wichita Falls, Denton, Arlington, Waco, Oklahoma City, HEB, Grand Prairie, Grapevine, Plano, Longview, Tyler, Lindell.
Woohoo!
You got them.
I have to do it in my head. Like I have to work it around, like, and then come in and then go eat. That's the way I do it in my head to make sure I don't forget anybody. So attend a local meeting. That drawing is on July 30th. And that is the last. So that will, anytime before that, the meetings before that will be the last opportunity to get signed up for the giveaway for the drawing. And then when we've sold out of rooms, we're sold out of rooms. And I know that we already have 20 rooms booked. So about 40 people, 40 plus, because like I'm taking 2 kids. So they're not all 2 people per room. Some are 4 people per room. But we are looking forward to it. Is the Real Impact or the Mastermind Getaway of real estate investors. And that's your one prize, pays for everything except for your airfare and transportation. If you win the grand prize, we will cover that. If you do the VIP upgrade, we will pay for all that. But we're looking forward to it. And Lydia, you gonna go?
I do.
I have to leave too. I'm going for training. More training
thanks
today.
for letting us participate today.
Thank you so much.
Good
All right.
It was fun.
All right.
All right,
I need to
guys.
go too.
We'll
That's
see
great.
y'all. I will see you on July the 11th, Gabi. I'll see you on July the 6th, Lydia.
Awesome.
And we'll see everybody the last Thursday of July. Everybody have a safe 4th.
You
Bye.
too. Bye.
You too.